2022 Kia EV6 First Drive Review sets the electric SUV bar even higher. It shares much with the Hyundai Ioniq 5, but the EV6 has a personality of its own. It would be difficult, even disingenuous, to write about the 2022 Kia EV6 without mentioning the 2022 Hyundai Ioniq 5. As such, we won't even try to avoid it. They use the same underpinnings, Hyundai Group's electric global modular platform, E-GMP, which, as we found with the Ioniq, is a strong foundation for an efficient, capable, long-range and, perhaps most importantly, wholly entertaining electric car. The two EVs share a lot of the same infotainment and safety technology as well, which we'll dive into later. With the bar already set quite high by its Hyundai cousin, our expectations were high as we traveled to California's Sonoma wine country for our first drive in the Kia EV6. The most noticeable difference between the EV6 and Ioniq 5 is, of course, the appearance. While the Hyundai has hatchback-adjacent proportions and the kind of futuristic vibe that could have been conceived of by the RoboCop production designer, the Kia looks more like a traditional if sporty compact crossover. It appears rather small in pictures, but in person, you can better appreciate that the EV6 has the same 114.2-inch wheelbase as the Kia Telluride 3-row SUV. Interestingly, the Ioniq 5's is nearly 4 inches longer than that, even though its overall length is nearly 2 inches less than the EV6. So what does that mean for interior space? The EV6 is roomy, with 103 cubic feet of passenger space, which is similar to the Ioniq 5's cavernous 106.5 cubes. The EV6 boasts 24.4 cubic feet of cargo space behind the rear seats, and 50.2 cubes with the rear seats folded, less than the Hyundai's 59.3 cubic foot cargo capacity. The interior design further differentiates these two vehicles. While the Ioniq 5 feels open, airy and lounge-like, the Kia EV6 feels more conventional, albeit sporty and focused. The plastic pieces in our testers had interesting patterns. Vegan leather upholstery is the standard in all but the Light, which gets cloth seating surfaces, but both of our testers had the GT line's optional microfiber suede seats, which were both comfortable and stylish, with black perforated suede trimmed with white leather. One piece of weirdness is the unique, dual-purpose control touch bar at the bottom of the center stack that controls either the audio and climate systems. In audio mode, the touch bar has shortcut buttons for various infotainment menus and track seeking. To the left of that are physical buttons for front and rear defrost, air recirculation and auto climate control. The left and right knobs control volume and tuning/track seeking, respectively. Finally, amongst it all is a button that switches the entire touch bar to climate controls. In this mode, the knobs control the dual zone temperatures, while the audio buttons transform into controls for heat, AC, driver-only or temperature-synced modes, as well as fan speeds. If you don't know where to look, you might have trouble discovering these climate controls, and the touch button that switches between the two modes should be bigger with symbols that make it more obvious what the button actually does. The EV6 is offered with 2 battery options, rear-wheel or all-wheel drive, and 3 trim levels. The most affordable model is the Light trim with RWD and the 58 kWh battery. At $42,115 after destination but before any incentives, like the $7,500 federal tax credit, that's good for 232 miles of driving range, with 167 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque and a 0 to 60 time of 8.0 seconds. Moving up to the Wind trim gets you the same 77.4 kWh battery as the rest of the lineup. In RWD, $48,215, it offers 225 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque and a 0 to 60 time of 7.2 seconds, as well as 310 miles of driving range. The Wind AWD, $52,115, gets an additional motor up front for a total of 320 horsepower, 446 pound-feet of torque, a 0 to 60 sprint of 5.1 seconds. AWD sacrifices some driving range, though, at 274 miles. The GT line RWD, $52,415, and AWD, $57,115, have the same performance and efficiency specs as the Wind, but adds features like auto pop outdoor handles, a sunroof, remote smart parking assist, the augmented blind spot warning system that won our 2020 Technology of the Year award, and the more advanced Highway Driveway Assist 2 suite of driver assistance tech that includes cruise control, machine learning, automatic lane changing and evasive steering assist. Regardless of the version you choose, every EV6 has the same 800-volt battery architecture that allows for ultra-fast DC charging, capable of filling the battery from 10% to 80% in just 18 minutes at a 350 kilowatt charger. They all have the same McPherson front and 5-link rear suspension, dual 12.3-inch curved displays, a wireless phone charger and heated front seats. All but the light trim get vehicle-to-load capability, which allows you to power appliances with a 3-prong plug at either the outlet below the rear seats, or through an adapter at the vehicle's charging port. We started our day in the GT Line RWD in a lively runway red, one of 9 available exterior paint colors. Creeping away from the paths surrounding the young grapevines and past the main lobby of the Montage Resort, we passed a family checking into the hotel. Their eyes landed on the red EV6, and the father loudly proclaimed, "Wow!" before he came to his senses and moved out of the way. We pulled out of the resort and onto Sonoma County's low-lying roads, which wind their way between farm and vineyard with near constant changes in altitude.